Hello, and welcome back to episode 28 of Crits&Knits. Who remembers what happened last time?
It's been 84 years.
It's
I'm with
just
them
shy
on
of a
that.
month. October 11th.
It's been 84 years.
Well, you were all reunited in the bar
And it feels so good.
after Nilitha had some adventures
She was still in
running
disguise.
around with a young man. Yes, she was still in disguise. Gave Isolde a vague explanation of what had gone on. Let's see. Oh, Herder did give Gabe the ashes from his caravan, and Erasmus gave Gabe some money. A large sum. Everyone headed to the Porters Guild.
Owen confirmed that the punch card system was not yet in place.
Yep.
That is true. That is true. And you did head from Glimmerhold to Selva, which is the island next to, or it's on the island next to Magrona. There was a guy. Oh, yes. When you arrived in Selva, it turns out that you can get crackers at the front desk of the Porters Guild if you're feeling a little queasy after the traveling, or a healer. So that's good to know.
And Herder was a
Herder
little,
queasy.
shitty.
Yeah.
He was
it
grumpy.
happens.
A
Her
grumpy
was
man.
very grumpy. And when we ended up at one of the bars, Nelitha gave him a snack. It was like, you're grumpy. Have something to eat.
Have a Snickers.
You're not
Not
you when
just
you're
sell.
hungry.
You did head to the bar with the crappiest sign. That bar was called The Boot.
Das Boot.
And you
Das
did
Boot.
all get the boot of beer.
Some of us got milk in
Some
the
of us
boot.
got
It was
milk.
fucking weird.
Yes, there was milk in boots. That was a thing. And you all got a little bit nostalgic and melancholy. And Herder was rather disappointed, I believe, to find out that the beer at the boot was just as good as his.
He sure was.
He was
very
more
grumpy
grumpy.
about that.
Jesus.
Herder's very proud of his beer and not thrilled that there's a chain over here that's got like beer that's just as good.
It's what happens when you serve beer to old people.
It's not so much a chain as it is a pair of restaurants owned by the same family. So
Okay.
they haven't expanded beyond the island.
It's not
is
Fantasy
a-
2 lease.
It's not.
It's not a franchise opportunity yet. But
Yet.
No.
Not
It's
yet.
coming.
Give it time.
I think Owen's very brave for drinking milk at his age.
Wow. That was a look.
I love milk.
Milk is delicious. I'm with you on that.
Milk, it does a body good.
As a lactose intolerant person, I think that drinking milk is very brave at any age, especially at an advanced one. Not gonna do it.
Fair.
More for me.
More for us.
When you finished up at the boot, you headed over to this really long line at a place called Connor's Conveyance.
Oh, yeah.
And you got a ride on a magical platform that took you to the docks at the edge of the island that would take you to Magrona Island. You stayed at another very imaginatively named place called the Big Bed, but that was after you had more drinks at the second boot.
The boot tool.
The boot too.
Electric Boogaloo.
You got rooms at the Big Bed.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't know if you got rooms or if you just stayed in a bunk. I didn't write that part down, but you stayed at the Big Bed.
I think we all got our own room. We bought the place out.
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we're rich.
You're fancy. And I believe that is where we left off. You had settled in for the night.
So we get a long rest.
You do get a long rest.
Mash that
so
long
if you
rest
did
button.
not already mark that, please mark that long
Oh,
rest.
yeah. Nilitha real hurt when we left.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
I dumped a whole bunch of healing into her.
Yes. There was healing, there was drinking. It was a relaxing sort of day. A melancholy sort of day, but a relaxing one nonetheless.
I mean, every day around older people is nostalgic and a little sad.
Oh.
Also, throughout, Herder offered to do prestidigitation on anybody's like stuff so that we can go over with like, clean stuff and everything. He also, after everyone had gone to bed and everything, he sat down and wrote a letter to Hespera and took it down to the desk. So I will, if you will allow, I will read his letter.
Absolutely.
Are you going to tell her you tried to cheat on her?
If you will allow, I will read her the letter.
Ooh, spicy.
Dearest Hespera, I wish I never left you to go adventuring with this crew. Don't misunderstand. These are amazing adventurers, and they will save the world. But I realize I would much rather be with them in the safety of the Stout Singer than in this dangerous world. I miss you terribly, and will return as soon as our business is finished and the world is once again safe. My friend Gabe lost his entire livelihood. We teleported to Selva and made me sick. Here I am adventuring again, and I don't even get to travel the roads and meet other people. This is not the life I wanted. We had beer tonight that was just as good as anything I have ever brewed, and all it did was remind me of what I was missing at home. I think my friends are beginning to sense my homesickness. Hopefully, we will take care of this necromancer nonsense soon, and I can return to you. With deepest affection, Herdy.
Aww.
Gross.
So the front desk arranges to get it sent.
Yeah. So but because he's hiding his homesickness, he definitely was like not sending that out in public, or while everyone else was doing could have seen him.
Yeah, they agree to get it sent over. No problem. Should be there. Likely tomorrow. We'll get it posted.
Excellent.
You know, magic and all. Does anyone else have anything they're doing overnight, other than getting a good long rest?
Working on the bobble hat.
Excellent. Yes. Did you all bring your knitting with you?
Of course.
Canonically, yes, because I was arrested with it.
That's true. You were.
Herder actually doesn't knit.
Oh, that's right, because he's never been to the other bar because he's not part of the knitting guild.
Yeah. And there's like little friendly animosity between Herder's place and the other bar.
Friendly.
Well, the other bar was set on fire. Maybe it was Herder. Maybe it had nothing to do with Nilitha.
No.
That was definitely Nilitha.
It was not Nilitha. She didn't do it.
Well, the woman was trying to impress you.
I don't write a letter.
Guilty by association.
All right. Morning comes. Are any of you late sleepers, or are you all sort of stereotypical early risers?
Erasmus is up entirely too early. He's like that, like 2 a.m., like, you know, I'm up.
So he's you.
Once I'm old, probably, yeah.
Even on vacation, you were up early.
We shared a room, Erasmus. You were up early. I slept through it, but you were up early.
Every time.
You are probably up earlier than most of the other people in town. This is the docks on the way to the college town, to the Academy Island. You are most likely awake well before any of the students who have been on the island for their days off. So when you come downstairs to the common area of the big bed, it's pretty empty. There is a breakfast buffet that is not actually all that full yet. You can see the various bowls where things will be put out, and a very tired-looking person standing behind the buffet takes a big yawn and has a big swig of something in a mug, and then notices you all. Oh, yeah, hi, welcome. Breakfast. If you want something that's not out, I can get it for you. Oh, and we have an omelet bar. The chef should be awake in like the next 10 or 15 minutes. He should be down, I think.
Herder looks for bacon.
Oh yeah, there's bacon. There's not a lot of other things, but there's always bacon.
Correct answer.
Bacon and a really sugary looking cereal.
Owen gets the sugar cereal. to have with milk.
Ugh, milk. I don't know how you drink that stuff, Owen. You're not a cow.
This is why I have strong bones and good teeth.
I have strong bones and good teeth.
Good for you.
Such grump.
Erasmus, knocks against his, teeth, probably. Yeah, they're fine.
You have your choice of tables. There is no one down here except for that tired-looking poor person behind the buffet.
I'm just saying.
So I assume we'll all get a big table together. We can sit around and talk about what we're going to do. Herder goes and sits down and says, come on, let's figure out what we're going to do. And Herder actually, he looks different. He's wearing different looking clothes than you've seen him before. He's got clothes that kind of blend in with the college town. Doesn't look like a student, but looks like he might work at the college or whatever. And so, assuming that y'all are where the hell did y'all get that? Where'd you get those clothes? He says, Assault knows, but when I jumped into Erasmus's hole early on, I upgraded my armor. And I found some glamour armor, which I can say like the magic word, and I go, fabulous. And then my armor turns into a wizard apparel.
I'm delighted that you figured out the keyword.
Absolutely. I said fabulous. And it goes right back to the disguise of a school worker sort of thing. I said, I don't know if this will be helpful when we get over to the school, but if we need to try to blend in, at least I'm not looking like I'm here to come fight.
Do you ever look like that?
Shut up. I mean, no, I don't. I'm a lover, not a fighter. And also, doing a little research, I read in my Rickle Axeger's Pocket Guide to Adventuring a little bit about necromancy, and I found out about the school that we're going to. Magrona Academy. It was established about 1,200 years ago, and there are over 50 masters at the academy. And I've got some pictures here, and I pull the book out and I show the pictures of the school. Some very simple pictures of the school, basic details, and
damn, no blueprints.
Yeah. So a little bit of stuff here, but nothing super helpful.
Well,
Still, any information's good.
Do we know what time the ferry leaves?
Given the general
So?
tenor of this place, probably not for a few hours, once all of the drunk college students have woken up.
You, breakfast lad, what time does the ferry to Magrona leave?
Oh, the first one heads out at 7.
What time is
But
it?
there's another one at noon. It's probably about 6. You guys are up early. So you've got about an hour if you want to catch the first ferry of the day.
Sure.
I think we need to watch out for the headmaster.
100%.
I will be going in disguise.
I did not bring a disguise.
That's fine. I pull out the hat of disguise and put it on.
I don't think I'd be good at wearing a disguise anyway. It always falls off weird.
I have a fear that they might recognize me.
Oh,
That's weird. Why? I
Why?
mean,
that is information that would have been helpful sooner.
Well, that's something that I recently found out. While I was hanging out with the very nice god, I found out that I stole an artifact that the headmaster wanted.
Great.
I don't
Do you
have
still
it
in
anymore.
your... Oh, I was
No.
going to ask if you still had it in your possession.
I do not. It was lent to the nice god. I will get it back when we pass through again.
all right. I guess. Yeah, that's great.
What was the artifact?
It did a bunch of things. Found out that it was quite powerful. Decided not going to hand it over, and have been carrying it around for years now.
So you just been sitting with that under your ass for 50 years.
Not 50, no. But a while. I killed somebody for it, as I am one to do. Usually...
No. That's not a thing that someone is wont to do, just murdering somebody for a thing. No.
I was hired for it.
Okay, that's something people are hired to murder people. That's not just a wont to, as I wont to do. Like I just walk outside.
Well, I don't understand why you're surprised.
It's just today's a lot. It's just like
Today is a lot.
Today has just begun.
It's already a lot.
Eat your bran muffin, Raz.
While all this talk is going on, Herder looks to see if the omelet station's open yet, and if it is, he's going to get some eggs and omelet.
Yeah, by the time this conversation is happening, there's a very, very sleepy-looking tiefling who has wandered down and is standing over at the omelet. You know what? Roll me a 20, and let's see.
Oh. 6.
No, he's not.
Oh, never mind.
About to cougar up that tiefling.
Well, Herder gets a bacon and cheese omelet and another stack of bacon and brings it back.
All right.
Listen, I think you all know that I'm not a good person.
I've kind of picked that up.
But I do have
hold on.
my tendencies.
I'm not going to assume anybody that has been killing anybody is not a good person. Because that means a soul wouldn't be a good person. A soul has probably done plenty of killing.
And by that measure, I am also not a good person.
Well, okay, but you guys aren't paid to kill people.
You're not-
We were
Who said that?
soldiers.
That's fair.
You're not a good
Anyway.
person because I don't think you're actually old or an elf.
What if I'm not an elf? What am I?
A liar.
You already knew that.
I got a list, but we ain't going to get into that right now.
We're
Regardless.
going to miss the ferry.
Of course, I'm a liar. I lie to everybody.
Is there anything we need to do before we catch the ferry?
I don't think
Other
so.
than
I just
scarf
thought.
down this bacon. Herder puts bacon in his pocket.
Pocket bacon.
Pocket bacon.
Absolutely.
Heard it. You got like some lined pockets over there. You ain't gonna don't have like soggy pockets.
I got prestidigitation.
I just don't want
fine.
I just don't want you to have greasy pockets, man. 'Cause that's embarrassing for everybody.
It's okay. I don't mind at all. It's worth it for the bacon.
Are you doing all right, Herder?
Yeah. I want to get this. I'd like to get ready to get home, but we got stuff to do. Let's do it.
All right. You were seeming a bit off yesterday. That's why I ask.
The teleportation stuff, it messed me up, and
It messes with me every time.
Yeah. And I kind of, one of the things I like about being out adventuring and stuff is meeting all the people and everything. And so we've shortcutted the journey, so I didn't get to meet folks on the way. But
You met a lot of folks, though.
yeah, I meet people on the road too. But also the whole jumbled up craziness that happens when you teleport. I've only done it. I haven't done it much, so
I don't prefer it either, but
There's always a question of whether or not it's the same you on the other side.
yeah.
Wait,
I have
Yeah.
never thought about that ever.
Well, now you will every time.
Fuck.
Magical theory is a little bit strange because a person can't just be in two places at once. So how do they get there so fast? And the weave is weird. Let's leave it at that.
And they lose limbs through it, so.
This is why I don't deal in magic.
You're probably wise for that, but here we are.
Everybody knows that when you teleport, you high five Mistra, and there is a 2% chance that you might make out with her. That's how you get places.
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to roll me a D100 next time you teleport.
I was not aware of that because I might teleport more often if I knew that was a
From
possibility.
just making out with people, yeah.
I mean, making out with a goddess. I feel like that's the thing of legends there.
It's on my bucket list.
I'm just saying there are so many people who have claimed them to have made out with Mistra at some point or another. There's a 2% chance every time you teleport, you make out with Mistra. That's how.
Yeah.
Do you high five her every time?
Yeah, every time because she's everywhere. She's the weave, right?
Oh, so you only make out with her some of the time.
As she's wont to do, right?
Fair, as she's wont to do, yes.
Beautiful.
Oh, Raz, that's awesome.
Alright.
All right. Well, you wrap up your breakfast and you head down to the docks. It's very easy to find. This entire little town is really just dedicated to being a waypoint between Magrona Island and the rest of the island you're on. So you find your way quite easily. There is a ferry there, and it's not anything particularly fancy. It's a boat. It's kind of a large floating platform with a bit of a shelter building in the center. But there are a lot of outdoor benches. And if you do go into the building, there are some benches indoors as well. There's not a whole lot of other stuff. It is very clearly just to get you back and forth between these two islands. You get onto the ferry with no problem. You pay your fare. The person, again, is very sleepy. You get the idea that, yeah, this is not the normal time that people are doing stuff. Some people do come early. You see a couple of what look to be probably teenager equivalents.
Freshmen.
In whatever various races. Yes, the freshmen. There are a couple of them that stumble onto the boat just behind you, sort of collapse onto some of the furthest seats back. Before you're even settled, one of them is sound asleep, curled up on the wooden bench. And his buddy is also nodding off.
Those were the days.
Does Nelitha go pick their pockets?
She does now.
Don't tempt me, bitch.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
Where are you guys going to settle down? Inside, outside, front, back?
I'll be outside towards the middle.
Inside, because my old bones don't like the sea air.
All right.
Yeah, I'll hang with the rest of the group.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
So mostly inside, Nelitha outside?
Yep. Keeping an eye out. Shady shit.
All right. Nelitha, roll me perception, please.
She's outside. Perception?
Perception.
I don't know why I was worried.
74.
69.
21.
Nice.
I'm sorry, 22.
22. You are able to see as the ferry leaves the dock. You can watch the waves rippling out behind it. You don't see a motor.
Fucking magic.
But as you're looking around, you notice that there's that building in the center. There's another little room on top of it. And you can see 2 people in there. Both of them look as if they're concentrating.
I'm not going to fuck with them, but I could.
The rest of you who are inside, please roll me perception.
12 for Herder.
13 for Owen.
16 for assault.
19.
All right. Erasmus and Isolde. The 4 of you have settled down onto a couple of benches and you're just sort of relaxing. I'm sure you've brought out your knitting at this point. A few minutes into the trip, you hear a gentle snoring from behind you. And if you turn around, you see a halfling curled up on the bench, mostly asleep. But about a half hour into the voyage, you do hear the sort of weird snorting, snuffling sound that a snorer tends to make as they wake themselves up. And this halfling sits up and rubs her eyes and looks around. Sorry. And sort of sits back and rummages through her bag and pulls out a book.
No problem.
You gotta apologize to me.
Okay. Thanks. I didn't mean to fall asleep.
Yeah, you get your sleep where you can.
Yeah.
Do Owen and I notice this is happening now?
Now that there's conversation, yes.
What you reading?
Oh, a textbook. I'm falling behind on some of the divination stuff. I'm not skilled at that.
Neither am I.
Oh, okay. Are you a student?
No.
We're coming to visit our kids.
Oh, that's so nice.
Maybe our grandkids.
Oh.
Erasmus would like to try and roll an Arcana to maybe be helpful. Like, did I pay attention ever?
Yeah, let's do that. Roll Arcana.
14.
You didn't pay a lot of attention, but you got the gist of it. Did I have you guys do a luck stat for me?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a stat that I think I had you add.
I think you
that was
added it.
forever ago.
That was forever ago. But Erasmus, I'd like you to roll me a luck.
21.
21. Okay. You reach into your hole,
Yeah, baby.
and you're able to pull out a set of stones that have runes carved on them. While you weren't the best at divination, you know how to use these stones.
Oh, well. Can't say I was the best divination student either. But I can try to show you a thing or two.
Oh, that would be great. 'Cause midterms are coming up, and I can't fail. I can't fail out of here.
Well, let's take a look here. And Erasmus will pull out these stones, and now see, the thing here is that when you're using a divinatory focus, you can't push it too much because you're tapping into something that is you're channeling your energy, you're channeling the weave, but you're tapping into something that is greater than yourself, and you're only pushing and reaching for a connection, and you are trying to interpret what you get back. Okay.
Okay. So I don't want to push too hard.
Not too hard. It's about
Okay.
interpreting. It's about insight. Give a little bit.
Okay.
Take a little bit. Give a little bit. Take a little bit.
Okay. Can you
Yeah.
Can you show me? Okay. And she sort of sits back a little bit and watches every movement that you make with these runestones.
Yeah, Erasmus will sit down, he'll sit down cross-legged, have that like twinge in his
impressive.
back, like, just, and,
Herder pulls out his notebook. He's taking notes and eating bacon.
and roll out these stones for her, and, make this very hushed, susurring sound as the stones roll out, and he's gesturing somatic components over the stones, and then he shows her, and then when they're done rolling, when you feel everything's done, everything has come to a rest, and then you see him, and you interpret, you take that back, you gave a little energy out, you're getting something back from something greater than yourself, and now you interpret what you got here on the ground.
Okay. Erasmus, did you ask a question as you
I
cast
did.
these
I
stones?
asked the question about. The question Erasmus would ask would be the best course of action for when we hit the ground after we get off the ferry.
Okay. As you are studying these runestones, the young halfling is looking at them as well. And she cocks her head and says, Are they telling you observe? Like, watch?
Yeah, it
Does
makes
that make
sense to me
sense?
because the next part I'm gonna tell you is it's about intent. When you are divining, especially in this way, your intent matters. There's all kinds of divinatory magic. There's scrying. There is trying to see into the future. There's all those things. But your intent matters.
Okay.
When you are putting yourself out there, when you're giving that little bit, your intent, your question that you're asking for, that matters. Because what you're interpreting is from that higher place, from that greater place, that's what you're interpreting, what you're getting back.
Okay. Is it weird for me to be able to interpret without the question?
No, it just means that you got something special, that's all.
Ah, okay. I wish the masters understood that. They don't think I've got all that much special. They are suggesting that maybe I should be leaving the school.
Sometimes you get so high up on your little podium, on your dais, that you don't really understand people on the ground anymore.
Right? And I mean, I don't have to be able to do big magic to be important, right? And she uses a little flick of her fingers and a muttered word to prestidigitate some dirt off of the bench beside you. See? Like, that's useful. I mean, they don't think so. It's just a party trick.
Everybody does what they can in their order with what they have. You always remember that.
Thanks. I'm sorry, I didn't even introduce I'm Kelly.
I'm Erasmus.
Hi, Erasmus. Thank you. Wow, I thought I was going to spend this whole boat trip back just panicking, but I kind of feel better now.
Kelly, how long have you been at the school?
This is the beginning of my second year. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. I mean, I'm doing it. I got the basics, right? Like the prestidigitation, I've got that. And I'm trying to specialize in fire stuff because, well, it feels practical. Like, so my family's all they're bakers, but I had this like natural ability, and so everyone chipped in, like my parents and my grandparents and a couple of my cousins, and we all saved up. We even had a jar out at the bakery so that everyone in town could put in for my tuition, which was really nice of them. But I thought, if I focused on fire, especially, that would be like useful when I came home. But the school seems to have a different definition of useful.
How so?
They how can I explain it? They seem focused on like the magic itself and magic for magic's sake. There's this whole group of masters that sit and all they do is talk about the theory of it and try to come up with new spells. Which, I mean, I guess is cool, but I don't know. Like, magic for magic's sake, man? I don't know.
Academics are very interesting people. They love the theory and the beauty and the look of it all, but it's not necessarily stuff that's useful out in the real world.
That's kind of what I am feeling.
So, I mean, what they do is good for what they do, but it sounds like you want to have something that's a little more practical, a little more hands-on.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Have you considered an apprenticeship rather than traditional schooling?
Not really. I see, that's the thing, is like there aren't a lot of magic users where I come from. We're just like, we're normal people. And so there wasn't anyone. I could have apprenticed to become a baker. I mean, that's what I was doing before, but do you know of anyone?
There's plenty of magic users where we live.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Where do you guys live?
Pennycross.
Pennycross. That sounds familiar. Is that the...
You can say it.
It's okay.
The old folks' village. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
The retirement village. That's what I was going to say. Retirement.
It's the old folks' village. It's okay.
Okay, yeah.
Look, you don't get to be an old adventurer without being at least a little bit smart.
Oh, you're adventurers?
Isolde will just look at her and then deadpan look down at her armor and look back at her.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got it.
But she's smiling. There's a little bit of warmth around the corners of her eyes.
Well, that makes sense. If you're adventurers, that you would have, like, had enough to be able to send your kids here.
Hey,
That's so
but
cool.
just remember, there ain't no such thing as just normal people. Because everybody's got something they can do.
Okay.
I've known magic users who wouldn't make, these kinds of people turn their heads at all, but they turned out some of the most beautiful stitch work because they had a little bit of their magic infused in every stitch.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's such a cool idea.
I've known other people who've worked the forge who put a little bit of themselves into every piece of armor or weaponry or a horseshoe that they make.
Wow. I wonder if I could do some sort of magic with the baking.
I'll bet you do.
It's not unheard of.
Owen would know. I've got a bar back at Pennycross, and I learned how to create water so that it makes it easier to brew the beer.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, I love that.
So that's useful magic, not academic magic.
Yeah, it is. Oh, man. Okay, but I just want to finish this year.
Absolutely.
Because if I can finish the year.
Oh, certainly. We're not telling you need to quit school immediately.
And having the theoretical knowledge is good for understanding how the weave works and getting your fingers into it. Because once you understand how it works, you can manipulate it the way you need to.
Erasmus, can I try throwing your stones?
You know, you can keep these stones.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, thank you. And she'll pick them up and sort of hold them close. And do you have, like, a ritual to attune to them, or?
Why don't you think about one for yourself? They're yours now.
Okay. Well, thank you. And she'll sit back on the bench for a little while, and she holds them and is kind of quiet and clearly thinking about it. Quite a bit of time goes by. You get some good rows on your knitting. And then you hear the little clatter of stones. And then this kind of pleased little laugh. All right. Okay, I got a plan. You guys are awesome. It's kind of a long ferry ride. We've got like another 3 hours. Do you want to... I have some snacks.
I've got some bacon. Reach in my pocket, give her some
Ooh,
bacon.
Bacon's great. Thanks. I mean, who doesn't like pocket bacon? And she'll take a bite. She'll dig in her pack and pull out some muffins.
Ooh.
Really, like, good-looking muffins. I made these. It's a cinnamon sugar crumble. It's a recipe that I came up with myself. It was one of my first recipes. I fired the oven myself using some fire magic. So.
Yeah.
That sounds incredible. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. This was... Thank you for talking to me, and thank you for your help, sir. I really appreciate it.
Herder takes a big bite out of her muffin.
It is one of the best muffins you've ever tasted.
This is really good.
These taste magical.
Aw, thanks. And you have a fairly uneventful ride across to Magrona
If
Island.
at any point she gets up and goes to the bathroom and leaves her pack unattended around us,
She does.
I figured she might trust us enough at this point to just leave her stuff. I'm gonna slip a pouch with 50 gold into it and a note in and slip it in at the bottom.
While she's gone, Owen is gonna speak softly to Erasmus and say, I know you were lamenting the fact that you never had children, but for what it's worth, I think you would have made a good father.
I was thinking exactly the same.
I know. I was like, oh, Daddy Raz.
I appreciate that. I think I'm gonna go and see if I can put something on her roll for tuition. Make sure she's paid up for the year.
Oh.
You're a good man.
And when she's ready to go get an apprenticeship, a little bit laid aside, and I'll nod to the pack.
So she does eventually come back after looking at the two guys still passed out on the back bench. And she does notice Nelitha, but doesn't approach her. Nelitha doesn't look all that
smart.
approachable.
She has good
but she has come back in.
self-preservation instincts.
I don't know.
She
Nelitha
does.
might be disguised as someone who looks approachable, though.
There's only so much she can do to her face.
Oh!
It's a hat of disguise, Danny! The hat can do anything!
Can it fix your expressions, though? Can it fix Nelitha's expression?
I mean, in fairness, like, I rated a very good leave me alone aura. I'm sure Nelitha is very much the same.
And Nelitha seems very engrossed in observing everything.
So grumpy.
At least that's what Kelly thinks. So
She's thinking about stealing from those two kids that just happened to fall asleep. Stupid.
you know what? Roll me a sleight of hand. Let's see.
And if Herder sees that Nelitha is doing this, you make sure that he's between Nelitha and Kelly's line of sight so that she doesn't see what's happening.
We don't need Kelly knowing we got a big old thief.
I'll allow that.
27.
27, yeah. So you sidle over to them, and no one notices you. You manage to rifle through their pockets. You get you get 2 copper. You get a wadded up hall pass, and you get a napkin with lipstick and a woman's name on it.
That's fine. I put the copper back.
And that is all these guys have.
The hall pass back.
Keep the hall pass. Keep the hall pass. We might need it at the school.
Okay. I'll keep the hall pass. And I'm gonna fuck with the napkin a little bit and change the name.
Yes!
Oh, man. That's so petty.
That's so Nelitha.
So the rest of your trip passes uneventfully. It is a fairly quiet trip. You do see Kelly doing a little bit of studying, reading from her book, but also just sort of communing with these stones. And she's got this smile on her face the entire rest of the way. She's looking way less upset and panicked than she was at the beginning of the trip. As the ferry pulls up to the island, you can see the school is not right at the edge of the island. It's a little bit inland, but you can see the outline of it in the distance. Kelly tucks her things in her bag and joins you near the front of the ship, the front of the ferry as it's pulling in. That's the academy over there. I guess if your kids are here, you've seen it before, but it's always a little scary, isn't it? It does have a very foreboding sense. You can see the outlines of the buildings in the distance. There are a lot of tall spires, and they're a very dark black against the sort of gray sky. And there's a fog between the ferry and the school. And it doesn't look like a natural fog. Fog should not be up this much in the middle of the day. It should not be this foggy, but yet it is. Callie gives a little shiver and says, well, back to school. Do you want to walk with me?
Sure. But as we're pulling up, I want to pop my divine sense just to get a feel for this fog, for the place around us, for anything that feels wrong.
Okay. And what does divine sense tell you specifically?
Until the end of my next turn, I can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or notice the location of any celestial, fiend, undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
So you aren't picking up anything specific. It just feels kind of weird and creepy. You get the feeling that this is for show.
Trying to scare people away.
Yeah, that definitely deepens my distaste for the academics, where it's like, come on. You have a lot of kids who are coming here.
Callie steps off the boat first, and as she starts walking, you see the fog just sort of vaguely starts to part in front of her. And as you follow behind her, it spreads a little bit as well, so it's not touching any of you. So the fog never actually touches anyone, but as you move through it, it sort of forms back behind you, leaving you in this little bubble as you walk towards the spires of the Magrona Academy. And that's where we're going to
You have a very particular tone when you're saying the last line of whatever it is you're planning to do. So I can always predict when it's that's where we're going to stop for tonight.
I tried to give you a little bit of a hint.
Perceptive roll of 3 would be able to tell you.
It's time. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us tonight. I know it was a little bit of a shorter episode, but we did a lot more knitting talk than we usually do. And that's fine. We enjoy doing that too. Please remember to hang out in our Discord. The links will be all over the place. I'll see if I can get one put up in our show notes. And until next time, happy knitting, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
A Majestic Goose podcast.
Honk.